Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be 9 terrible lessons Disney movies shouldn't be teaching kids. Before we get started, if y'all haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up if you want to see more videos like this, like Disney related, or just any video in general. Also, leave a comment down below, any video suggestions if y'all have one. But without further ado, let's just get started. Number 1. Snow White. When Snow White ran away, she left a life of slavery from her evil stepmother, just to do it again with the dwarfs. Basically, no matter what, she wasn't getting away from it. Basically saying Snow White is learning how to be a good housewife for her future husband. Not a very good role model in my opinion. Snow White also never learned to not talk to strangers when she took a poison apple from the queen disguised as a witch. When Snow White died and the prince kissed her dead body, I don't know about you, but your first impression isn't always marry the man. Number 2. Cinderella. Cinderella was treated like a servant by her evil stepmother and stepsisters. It would have been too easy for her to simply ask for help. Her happily ever after wasn't so happy. Instead of helping herself, she depended on a fairy godmother to save her. So, the movie is basically teaching kids that to make all their problems go away, wait for a fairy godmother. Sorry kids, but you'll be waiting for a very long time. Then she went to the ball where she met the prince who was looking for a woman to marry. If you ever go to a party where a rich guy is looking for his new girlfriend, you should never think he's husband material. Then he spends all evening dancing with her and not once asks for her name. Only thing that mattered to him was that she was pretty. When it struck midnight and she had to go home, she left one glass slipper behind. When the prince was trying to look for her, the prince couldn't even remember what she looked like. He simply asked every girl in the kingdom to try on the shoe to see if it fits. The scene where the mice are making the dress, one of the mice say, "Leave the sewing to the women, like guys can't sew." Basically teaching kids that kind of stuff are apparently only for women. Cinderella, you deserve better than that. Sleeping Beauty comes on number 3. When Aurora met her prince in the forest while singing, we usually wouldn't get attached just because he's singing along. We especially wouldn't cry just because the fairies said we couldn't be with him. Or maybe that's because that's when the fairies finally told her she was stuck in an arranged marriage. Number 4. The Little Mermaid. Ariel never liked to follow the rules. She was obsessed with the human world, even when her father forbid it. She was still just a teenager. It got worse when she met a prince and immediately fell in love with him, even when they never had the chance to talk. She was ready to leave everything behind for this man. Her world, her family, and her own identity. This is why she made a deal with a sea witch to become human in exchange for her beautiful voice. And she only had 3 days to make Prince Eric fall in love with her, or she would have to suffer a terrible, terrible fate. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't think you should change who you are just to please a crush. For once, the prince was decent enough not to want to kiss a girl without her consent, unlike Aurora and Snow White's prince. Ariel got everything wrong, and she's just extremely lucky that she got the chance to live her happily ever after. And it worked out pretty well because in the sequel, Eric and Ariel had a daughter. It didn't end that well in the original fairy tale. Instead of falling in love with her, Eric fell in love with her because of her voice. So, if she was beautiful with a horrible singing voice, it kind of makes you wonder, would he still have fallen in love with her? Number 5. Beauty and the Beast. Just when we think we have finally found a good role model, we meet Belle. She was really smart and never gave Gaston the time of day. The only man she loved was her father. However, she loved him a little too much and everything turned out wrong when she tried to save her father. She asked the Beast to take her as his prisoner and let her father be free in exchange. That was pretty courageous, but it didn't take long till everything turned out wrong. Later in the movie, she slowly started falling in love with her kidnapper? I mean, what? You usually don't do that. She should have ran away when she had the chance to do so. Number 6, Aladdin. This time, we follow the story of a young thief. He actually had a pretty good reason to be a thief, so I guess that's okay. But just because you give bread to poor kids doesn't automatically make you a perfect person. The problem was that he was interested in Princess Jasmine, even when he knew nothing about her. Once again, it was based on looks. During the story, he just kept lying and lying and lying. He even lied to the genie when he broke his promise about freeing him from the lamp. This is not the type of person to trust. This is why Jasmine told him that she was not a prize to be won. Then she decided it would be a good idea to fly away with him on his magic carpet and sing a song with him. And it's especially not okay to get in a car with a stranger, but no matter what, many kids were convinced that you could lie as long as you make sure that everyone forgives you. So, someone who lies all the time, you really shouldn't trust them, or it makes it hard to trust them. Number 7, Brave. Here's a princess who is not interested in a prince. I guess we had to have one person like that. Unfortunately, that doesn't automatically make the movie perfect. It showed that only guys can be good at sports while the ladies had to sit and watch. I mean, can women do archery too? Or do they just expect the men to do it? In my opinion, women can do whatever men can do. Number 8, Tangled. In the beginning of the story, it was shown that Flynn Rider was narrating Rapunzel's story like she isn't capable of handling her own life and doesn't get a chance to speak. We also don't like that a princess can only feel happy if they get married. That's not the case. They're a terrible lesson to be taught to children. You can be happy even without being married or even being in a relationship. And number 9, this is the top movie that we really need to discuss that has so many different lessons in it that are kind of like, eh. Number 9, Frozen. One of Elsa's biggest mistakes was to run away from her problems. But when she became queen, she just left her whole kingdom behind and let everyone suffer in a bad winter. Not a very good queen material, if you know what I'm saying. Probably wasn't a good idea just to leave them alone like that. Why couldn't she have talked to her sister about this? Like, they were family, and you think that maybe she could be comfortable talking about it, but since she didn't, it kind of makes you think that their relationship wasn't really that great, and there wasn't a lot of trust built into that relationship. I mean, they were both grown-ups, so you think that they could handle it. As for Anna, I mean, we've picked on Elsa for a little bit. I think we should go for Anna, too. As for Anna, once again, a princess fell in love with a stranger and immediately wanted to marry him. Like, what? This is when Elsa said one of the best things ever in the film. You cannot marry a man you just met. Wonderful, wonderful saying. As for every other princess, they definitely need to learn this advice from Elsa. We have to admit, Anna fell in love with Kristoff a little too fast, too. But, what are you going to do? So, these are 9 terrible, terrible lessons that Disney movies really don't need to be teaching kids, because it kind of gives a bad, vibe. So guys, just saying, don't depend on a guy to make you happy. Be your own person. Don't change who you are just to make someone like you. And don't give a guy the time of day. And if he doesn't have you know, if he doesn't ask for your name automatically, or he just cares about looks, girls, he's not the guy for you. Just keep on moving on and find someone who actually cares. And don't talk to strangers. And if you know a guy who lies all the time, probably not really the right guy. So yeah, I mean, guys, all of these lessons are really... Oh, and girls, you can do whatever guys can do. And you should speak your own story. Don't let a guy tell your story. You have this freedom of speech. You tell your own story in your own way. Alright, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure, like I said at the beginning, leave a video suggestion in the comments, subscribe, like this video, click the bell, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.